Hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome. Hello, 2025. I'm so excited to be here. Ooh, there you go. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Let me turn down the volume. Okay, I know the volume's working, so yay. And yeah, I'm excited this is the first video of 2025, and hopefully there will be lots more interesting, good things to share this year. But for now, I wanted to do a little visibility plan to set us up for the year. And I usually do this for myself, for my clients. And so hopefully you'll get some value from this. And before I forget, there's just a lot going on in the world. So just wanted to do some prayers up for the those who are affected by the wildfires in California, and anyone else who is suffering, sick, just hurting. Just do a moment of prayer for them. And with that, let us move on. So, this is going to be more of a reflection today. I'm going to share a few strategies, but then also giving some time for us to reflect. If you have a notebook and a pen, go ahead and get that out, or something to write on. It could be your tablet, something just to help you to reflect and write some thoughts down, or your notes on your phone, whatever it is. So if you're here, would love to hear from you in the chat. Let me know where you're from, and would love to see where you're from. And we'll go ahead and get started. If you don't know me, my name is Alexandra. I'm a visibility strategist. I help my clients to grow their visibility and monetize their brand. I was a publicist for many years, so a lot of times I come from that standpoint, from a publicist standpoint, as well as a helping social media influencers, YouTubers, creators to create content and share their message with a larger audience. And I monetized my first channel, my first YouTube channel. And as soon as I did that, people started asking me how I did it. And so then I started coaching and consulting other clients on how to do that. So currently I'm specializing in helping to grow YouTube channels and monetize the YouTube channels. So, this reflection, this 2025 visibility plan, what I want us to come from, certainly you can have some personal goals can be included in this. Hello from Florida, North Carolina. You can, and I'm in Miami, so you can have some personal goals that you want to talk about, but I feel like let's really focus on your business, on your brand, right? And so think about it from that standpoint. And I think that will be, I feel like um, the most helpful. But certainly, if you have other goals besides business goals, go ahead and include those as well. I am not going to be looking at your notes. I'm not going to be checking what you're writing. So you can do whatever you want. Okay. So let us first start with your vision, right? What is the vision? What is your mission that you have? And what I want you, I'm going to take a few minutes after each of the five questions, and just give you some time to reflect on that. And what I want you to think about is because this is important, because a lot of times we have these big goals and we forget about them, or we have these big goals that we had that are no longer relevant anymore. So there are huge ambitious goals that I had even a year or two ago that I don't even that are not important to me anymore. I've reprioritized things, and now I have new goals and even new businesses that I'm starting. And so I want you to think about first, what you see your vision now for your life for 2025 and beyond. What are, like, you can write down words, or you can write down sentences. Where do you see your business? Where do you see your life? Maybe it includes your lifestyle. Maybe it includes who you want to be working with. So write down an ideal. And let's just like maybe tap in if you want to close your eyes for a moment. And let's just go take a couple of deep breaths. And when we're out of our head, maybe we can let our heart, our soul, let us tap into that. So then we feel what we really want to be doing, what we really want to be, who we really want to be helping, rather than getting stuck in our head. Okay, so let's just take a few deep breaths. Calm the nervous system. And one last slow, deep breath. And go ahead and write down. And if you feel like sharing, go ahead and share, but write down, what are some goals, intentions you have for this year, who you want to be working with. And maybe something new comes up from this, or maybe it reinforces what you already want to be doing. I'm just going to take a minute or two for that. And you're also welcome to pause if you need to and come back, just take a little extra time if you need to. So the first thing is, what was your vision? What do you want to bring into 2025, right? Regain your health and serve others. Awesome. Amazing. Expand marketing services. For me, I'm growing. I have a new YouTube channel. I want to grow that and monetize that. So I'm really excited about that. And it's completely new service in a completely new industry, which is really cool as well. So I'm really excited about that. But it plays on a lot of my skill set, a lot of my interests, just in a different industry. So I'm excited to see how that goes. And that's something completely new that just kind of came up over the last month, right? Something I would have never, ever, ever, ever imagined myself doing even 6 months ago, right? But for sure, never like a year ago. So, all right. So that was our starting with our vision. The second thing is, especially where it comes with your business or your brand, your work. Certainly, personal issues can be reflective of this as well. But I want you to reflect on 2024 over the last 12 months and what worked. And by worked, I mean it could be specific strategies that you did in your business, a specific, it could be what you did in your business, specific strategies, specific marketing, specific people you worked with, collaboration. It could be like for me, working out really helped increase my energy, which really helped me increase my productivity, right? So think about what has worked for you over the last 12 months. So write down as many things that you can think of that helped. And then at the end, I'm going to ask you to rank, if you can, the top three. And just so you know, the reason I do this is because one, we want to celebrate what's working, right? We also want to acknowledge what's working. So sometimes we get into the negative and we think about the negative, what isn't working, without realizing that you've done some things to work that have worked, right? It could even be wins, some wins that you had, right? So what worked? What wins did you have in 2024 with your business, with your brand? Yeah, write that down, and then I'm going to ask you at the end to rank them. So for me, getting into this new industry has been really interesting. It's provided a new service, and also it has helped me to grow in YouTube and in other social media platforms. So that's been really, really helpful. And you can do it now if you have a little bit of time, but if not, we're going to go with the next in a couple of questions. I'm going to have you reflect back on that, what worked in 2024. Okay, so now I want you to reflect on what didn't work in 2024 in 2024. And that could be tactics that you use in your business, services that didn't work or that weren't super successful, marketing. Maybe you started on a platform that didn't work, or maybe you hired somebody that didn't work out, or maybe you brought on a really bad habit that didn't help you, didn't serve you. What didn't work for you in your business in 2024? And I just remembered something. You see, this is good to reflect, right? That I partnered with a new person for my business, and through her, it expanded me into something else that I can do, into a new service. So yeah, and that made me realize a couple of other things that I should be doing. And feel free to pause here if you need to as well. So with the things that didn't work or that were, I don't want to say failures because things can be reframed. Sometimes those are learning lessons, right? Is there something look at each of the things you wrote down and see if there's something you can tweak? Like maybe you just need to reframe it or rework it a little bit. Or is it time to just let it go? Like if it's a bad habit, maybe it's time to work on letting it go. If it's a marketing tactic that isn't working, maybe it's time to let it go. If it's or at least put it on pause. But if it's a marketing tactic that isn't working, maybe you just need to tweak it, right? So look at it and see, is there some way that you can reframe it, tweak it, or is it time to let it go? And this goes with that whole idea of Einstein's quote, of course. It's like doing the same thing over and over again without and expecting a different result is insanity. And that's completely paraphrased, but I know you guys know that quote, right? So if you keep working, you're like, oh, I'm trying this, I'm doing all the things, but if all the things that you're doing aren't working, right? Then maybe it's time to try something different. Or at least, or maybe it's tweaking it, right? Or putting it on pause and trying something different. So either tweak it or let it go or put it on pause. Okay, so the next thing that I want you to do is to look at the things that worked for you in 2024. And what of those things do you want to bring into 2025? Because maybe your vision, like we started on the first question, maybe your vision has changed and you don't want to do those things anymore. Even if they worked, maybe you still don't want to do them because for various reasons. Maybe they worked, but they drain you. Maybe they worked, but you're in a new line, in a new path in your business. So what are the things that worked in 2024 that you want to bring into 2025? Maybe it's circling. You could circle the things that worked. And then I want you to think about maybe 2 or 3 new things that you want to try in 2025. Like for me, I used to network so much, and the networking always brought me clients, business development. I did a terrible job of business development in 2024. And now I'm like, I need to go back into business development and going back into networking, right? So I'm going to bring in networking, business networking into my 2025. I had already done the partnering last year. So I'm going to continue that. So that's one thing partnering last year helped me. So I'm going to bring that back into 2025. Something I want to start doing again is the networking. I really kind of stopped networking pretty much throughout most of the pandemic. But still, the times I did network during the pandemic always were fruitful, right? So those are things that worked for me. And it just occurred to me, something else that used to work for me is speaking engagements. Even though I don't like speaking engagements, but I always got clients from speaking engagements. So in 2025, I'm bringing over a couple of the things that worked last year into my visibility plan, and then adding networking and speaking engagements, because those kind of went to like an all-time low over the last year, I would say. So I want you to look at your list, and if you only have 2 or 3 things, then that could be your focus for 2025. If you've got like more than 3 things, then I want you to rank all the things that you think, rank them according to how effective you think they're going to be. If it's something you've done in the past, then you can use your past experience to say, like, for example, for me, networking speaking engagements, even though didn't do it last year that much, historically have been very successful for me. So I'm going to have those as part of my 3. And then the partnering has also helped me last year. And then the 4th thing is social media, but social media is also my business. So I'm going to do more social media to support my social media business. So it kind of all works in tandem in my particular case. But if I had to say, let's say of those 4, then I would say probably between networking and speaking engagements, like, because the partnering, I'm already doing it. So I'm going to continue doing it. Between the networking and speaking engagements, probably, The speaking engagements typically has gotten me more clients, but the networking, oh gosh, that's a hard one. Maybe I'll just kind of keep those. So you have to do a little bit more than 3 things to focus on this year. That's okay. There's this thing called the law of 3. And the idea there is if you're working on more than 3 things at a time, then you lose focus and it's hard to be effective multitasking. That's why the idea is to focus on those 3 things. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend most of my time with social media, then the secondary being partnering, because the partnering gives me a lot of the connections as well. So that's a form of networking. And then the third thing will be speaking engagements. And those I'm going to try to focus on those speaking engagements. So when you're creating your plan for 2025, narrow it down to those top 3 things. If you have to do 1 or more or 2 more, that's okay. Rank them. And so focus most of your time on the strategies that you believe are going to work the most, right? And then you can break it down based on that ranking. Now, here's the thing. We're only at the beginning of 2025, right? So you might need to pivot, you might need to change, you might need to create something new or different or tweak, right? I love to say test and tweak, test and tweak. So maybe you're starting something that you think is going to do really well. And I just noticed I'm scratched myself. So that's what that is. So don't worry about me. It doesn't hurt, but it looks bad. So test and tweak. See if test something, see if it works, and then you can tweak it if necessary. Or let it go or pause it until you get more feedback, right? And then the last thing I would say, the last thing I want you to do is look at each one of those. And for each of the 3 things that you wrote down, your top 3, come up with one actionable step for the next month. If you can come up with more, that's okay. But just try to do at least one thing per each of the 3, right? So just build some momentum in that area, right? So that it doesn't become a goal that you're going to focus on, in August or something like that. Something you can do now to move forward in that goal. So as an example, with networking, I'm going to look for networking events in my area, and then I'm going to put it into my calendar. And then actually go, of course. But start by doing a little bit of research or finding whatever it is in each of the steps, and then actually make sure that you take the step or that you put it in your calendar to take the step at a later time. With the speaking engagements, yes, I'm going to look for speaking engagements, but I'm also going to ask people for referrals. So asking the people who I know historically have had speaking engagements if they know of anything. And at least that way, that's sort of like networking, right? Is asking other people to help you, right? And then you can also help them. If you see something to help that you can help them, like the reciprocity, you can give them something and then have them think of you. Referrals is another thing that I haven't really taken too much advantage of over the last year. But referrals kind of goes into the networking bucket too, right? Like talking to people, connecting, making connections, and then having that word of mouth, that those organic connections that can lead to new business. So those kind of all fall in that same bucket. So if you have gotten this far and you'd like to type in the chat, what are your top three areas that you're going to focus on your visibility plan for 2025. And it's okay that it's not all business related. Like if there's something personal, like I said earlier, maybe focusing on your health is something that's going to help you to get more energy so that you can be more productive in growing your business. And if you're looking at this after the live, feel free to type it in the comments. And these were mine: social media, networking, speaking. All right. So that's what I got for you. So this was a little bit of a reflective, but also helping you to think about some things with some strategies and tactics that maybe you hadn't considered or thought about before. And just realize that your visibility plan could change, could adjust. I agree. I really think it's good to test and tweak and see what's working, and then adjust accordingly. But I hope that you got something out of this. I would love to hear what's your biggest takeaway, what's your biggest insight from that. And while we do that, I have actually another live. It's a class that I'm going to be hosting next week, and that is 5 steps to start and grow your YouTube channel in 2025. I'm going to go ahead and post the link in the chat. You can click on that and note, you can hit notify me and you'll get a notification when I go live. And so because that's one of my specialties, is helping people to start and grow YouTube channels as a way to grow their visibility, attract new clients, target their ideal audience, maybe make money from their YouTube channel, either from the channel itself through YouTube ads, or getting leads from YouTube. Whatever it is, now is your time to start and grow your YouTube channel, and I'm going to have a class on that next week. So please join me for that. And a couple of other things I wanted to say. Oh, shoot. Where did I post it? Oh, here it is. So if you want to work with me one-to-one, I've got some packages, very affordable. Right now, I've got a holiday special, very affordable holiday specials for working with me one-to-one, coaching, consulting, and also a Voxer option, which is mostly like a text option. And if you want to set up a call with me to create a customized package for yourself, then here is my Calendly, and you can set up a time to talk to me. But if you are interested in starting and growing your YouTube channel, then definitely make sure to attend the live that I'm hosting, the live class that I'm hosting next Thursday. All right, guys, I thank you so much. I appreciate you all. And if you would like to get more tips to grow your visibility and monetize your brand, please like this video, help it get out into the algorithm. Please subscribe to my channel for more tips. And I look forward to seeing you at the next one. All right, everyone, have a blessed rest of your day.